Previously on The Guardians of Fehal.
In our last episode, you guys made your way through the aqueduct, slaying various strange creatures from troglodytes, oozes, and some sort of undead aquatic zombies, maybe? You're not really sure. It was during one of these encounters Una heard a voice in her head from a mysterious creature who called themselves Slay. He promised that he wouldn't harm the party or others and really would just like to get home, and looked to her as a helpful way to getting him back to where he originally came from after being rudely brought here by Para. He even said that he could potentially help her with her mission to learn more about the artifact that Para and her group were looking for. As they continued to fight other various monsters, Nora conquered her fear of water and turned into an octopus for the first time, fighting a shambling mound underwater. After that fight, Spriel saw a large shape lurking off in the distance, and Nora decided to try to approach it and see what the weird residue it left behind in the water was, when a voice entered her mind, warning her if she continued to push, she and the people she loved would end up dead. Nora immediately turned back into herself and fled to a landing, crying, and went into a panic attack. The party rushed out to help her, and they ended up running back to the guild and attempting to calm her down. After a bath and some hair braiding, Una went to send a note to Elaine to get the artifact to take it to Slay, and the rest of the group went to sleep, where Rowan had a strange, out-of-body dream vision with horrible voices in his head. Rowan, you awoke with your runes on your body shining brightly before dimming suddenly. Rowan, you basically awaken from whatever this was, and you see that surrounding you, not only are your runes glowing a purplish color, you've actually activated your ancestral garden spirits, the little formless blobs that float around you and protect, cause disadvantage. You use it in combat occasionally.
Yep, my ancestral gardeners, yep.
Yep, for your barbarian class. And they're fluttering around you looking for something, it looks like, and then they start subsiding and the glowing goes back into you. From all that light, the person nearest you in Nora's bunk, one of the freelancers, rolls over and smacks you with a pillow and says, "Hey, no doing magic tricks. I have to work early in the morning," and then rolls back over and goes to bed.
All I can think of is in Harry Potter when he is seeing through
Voldemort's eyes?
Well, not Voldemort, but
the snake?
The snake,
Nagini?
yeah.
Nagini?
Yep.
How dare you forget Nagini?
I know, I was like, what? I can't, I keep thinking of Nymeria, your dog. and then I went to Nymphadora, I'm like, wrong character.
Right book, Ron.
Yep.
So yeah, you've been awoken from this horrible experience, all glowing, and it's probably 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. You're not really sure.
Okay. And everyone's sleeping?
Everyone's sleeping. It's just the person nearest you in Nora's bunk yelled at you for flashing these bright, these lights.
Yep.
Not literally flashing, just his room.
I don't have anything to flash.
Oh my God, what's that? When did that grow in?
I don't think Rowan would want to wake anyone yet.
Okay.
So I think I'll go maybe into the bath so that it's quiet and not out in a big open area.
Mm-hmm.
And try and meditate.
Okay.
It's done some good things for me in the past, so maybe it'll work now.
Okay, you can make your way to the bath and meditate. Are you getting in the water yourself and Like, or are you just sitting in
No.
the bathroom on the tile
Yeah,
floor?
yeah. I think I'll just sit on the floor.
Okay.
Yeah, and just focus on all the things I saw in the vision and some of the stuff from the aqueducts.
All right. Give me a percentile roll.
99.
Why is it you roll the highest possible choices with these things? Okay, what do you see? All right, you're meditating for a while and trying to figure out what was happening in the vision. And it's kind of confusing, especially bleeding over the stuff from the aqueducts, and you're worried about Nora being in danger. And you kind of are losing yourself a little bit. When you had that strange vision dream, whatever it was, and you saw whatever you were grappling with the man at his desk, you could see, like, it looked like there was mist and shadows, something like kind of clawing at him. That was like the source of the shrieking. That sticks out to you a little bit more in your mind. And as you're meditating, you're kind of feeling like you've seen that before, and you hear a voice in your head that says, it's a voice in your head, and it's a very soft female's voice saying, things are happening as if they did before, only we've been weakened. I need a guardian. The others alone will not be enough this time. But what you ask is too much. You hear like another voice, and then you're kind of like, but we don't have a choice. And then like you're kind of just seeing like there's some sort of conversation, you're not catching all of it, and you're like, the mists are coming again. They're returning. And then it kind of like fades out again. And you recognize the female's voice. You've heard it before in your head. It was the one who told you to remember what you'd promised.
Oh.
And you
The
recognize
white.
Yeah, and you're not give me an insight check.
Side.
You know, what our barbarians are great at.
Yeah. Ooh, natural 1.
You have no idea. The other voice was probably a male's voice, but you're not 100% sure.
I was gonna say, could I figure out, but natural 1, I don't.
No.
Aaron
Yeah,
knows that he's heard a male voice yell, Relta.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot. All these things just leave me with more questions.
Should have
Okay.
made my nails longer so I could go like this.
Yeah. How long have I been resting? I don't need sleep, right?
Probably would have gotten your 4 hours before this. So.
Okay.
And meditating, you probably were in there for like an hour meditating.
Okay. I'll probably just stay down there and attempt, probably without any success, since I already got quite a bit of information there, but he'll just like try and to continue meditating, frustratingly to no avail.
Okay.
Before going back to bed.
All right. You successfully go back to your version of resting, staying by Nora. She looks like she is sleeping soundly, but there is your sister has much more of like a medium darker tone complexion, and like the color is drained. She looks very tired, upset, and just not her normal self, and even in sleep, and you're kind of hoping that she's not having bad dreams or anything. But yeah, you haven't seen her have a freak out like that in a very, very long time, Rowan.
Yeah.
It's been since like way back when you were home, when she was still really young.
I'd like to. Where is it? this is just for flavor, but I'm just gonna cast Sanctuary on her while she's sleeping, just to protect her dreams, kind of thing.
Yeah. That's the thought that counts.
Yeah, I do that, and then I'll just sit down beside her bed.
All right. The rest of the night passes uneventfully. There's a little bit of that headache there, but it's basically gone now. It's just like you can feel like the remnants of it still lurking in the back of your head, but eventually it subsides. All right, y'all wake up in the morning. What are you doing?
Probably, I don't know how late Una stayed up or whatnot, but probably when she wakes up, Hans and Franz is just kind of sitting there across the bunk from which she is sleeping, just kind of staring at her.
Staring at Una?
Una.
Okay.
Una, you wake up and see Hans and Franz, Josh's character.
Just
hovering and
just
staring.
like 6 inches away, just.
I guess Una would just kind of like double blank, like, hi? And just kind of like,
What? What did you mean? It's not friendly.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you do.
But I don't.
You remember you said you made a friend and he talked to you in your head?
I don't know if that would be the same thing down there. If
Oh, Nora looked at you and said, it's not friendly.
yeah, I guess, I don't know. He was really friendly to me and extremely helpful. So that's why I guess I'm finding it hard to believe that it's the same thing.
How did he help you?
He was just kind, I guess. He offered assistance and he said the only thing he wanted was to go back home. He did not threaten us at all or in any way. He just asked us politely, or asked me politely, to just ignore him if he sees him, and he was going to try to ignore us to the best of his ability, and that if we could help him find a way home or out of the sewer, he would greatly appreciate it. And he actually might know something about the artifact as well, and offered his assistance with that. So that's why I find it, I don't know if that's what she was referring to or if there's something else down there, which is very possible, because when the guy, the Sly, when I was speaking to him, he didn't say what was all living down there, but we obviously saw there's several different creatures. So it could just be something else, and what she came across wasn't friendly.
Everything else we came across, we were ready for a fight. Something she encountered could not be fought. The only thing else that we encountered that couldn't be fought was your supposed friend that speaks into the mind.
It's not that we couldn't fight him. We could have if we chose to, I'm sure. But
what if Nora got too close to where he was hiding? Because you said he asked us to stay away and he would try to stay away from us. Did he tell you what would happen if neither was followed through?
No, he was very polite. That's why I'm finding it very hard to believe that it's him. But this might be an even better reason to get him back to where he's from, if that is the case. If that is who Nora was talking about, and he isn't friendly, then we should get him back to where he's from. But he was nothing but friendly and polite with me, and if anything, I'm surprised he was as cordial as he was, knowing that one of my kind was one who brought him here on accident.
I don't know if
What was her name? Pyrrha?
Para.
I don't know if
Why the
Para.
fuck did you guys remember her name? I'm sorry.
I remembered!
I know. So you're the only one, Megan.
That's because it's
I
my
don't-
story arc.
I don't know if Para would summon anything accidentally.
I think she did. At least when I was talking to Ulan. Oh God, I can't remember his name.
Oh, you can't
I know.
remember. You
I
can't
know.
remember your big brother's name.
I remembered it.
According to Ulan, she was just trying, and it's not her skill set, the summoning. That's why he was the primary summoner.
Yeah,
But when she was,
But yeah, like, so Ulan wasn't sure. He thinks some of it was probably accidental because she wasn't a summoner.
blah.
Did Soleil give you any means to contact him?
Just to go back down when we have anything, or if we can assist him. I don't think that he can talk to me this far away. I guess I could try, but I actually was going to speak to Lady Elaine today about it as well, to see if we could get like a assistance to send him back and see if he can assist with the artifact, because that's what they're studying. And he seemed to be an ancient creature, so I would assume that he might know something, or if he doesn't, then at least we can banish him or send him back or something.
When do you plan on going to speak to Lady Elaine?
I sent her a letter stating an urgency to see her, so whenever I get a response back from her today.
Okay. Please let me know, because I would like to accompany you to speak to her.
I have a comment on this, Megan. I have no idea who Una is sending word to. Like,
She would have probably just
Through.
because
Yeah,
there's been
through.
like a person going back and forth, right? And if there's like from the guild to the so then
Nope.
Una would have probably wrote a letter and gave it to a guard and said that it was urgent, because they've seen her now like go to where the guards post, and she probably would have walked to the academy last night if that was the case, and gave the guard a letter and say that this is urgent for Elaine.
because my other thought for this about it was, you knew from your father, which we never
Yeah.
recorded this, but I know I told you
need
this.
to.
I know I told you this out of game.
Yep.
That he had said on this day, like, Elaine was teleporting to the islands, back home with the elders, and
Yep.
then they were going to stay the night because one of her wizards was going to be looking at the object that Oren's group brought back, and then they were teleporting back today, not only with themselves but also with the cadets. So you know that she's going to be at the school with the cadets today, and he kind of told you that assuming you'd want to go say hi. So like, I was like, that if you're trying to figure out how to talk to her, handing a letter to a random guard, I think I'm just trying to fill in
I
details.
mean, she'd probably do both. I mean, if she knows that the cadets are coming, she probably just gave the letter to let her know that she's looking for her. I mean, that's the number one thing. And then if she knows the cadets are coming and she's aware of that, then she'll probably try to get in that way too. I'm sure there's some way or how she could do that. Or if not, she'll break in. I don't know.
She can try.
Oh, Wuruken! Shadows. Then yeah, no, I mean, she would still just want Elaine to know, especially since she doesn't have the best relationship with Elaine. She doesn't want a good relationship, that's Kazan's point. But yeah, so she probably, just to be formal, she's just trying to, like, this is an urgent thing. I need to talk to you, and we'll see, what she responds. Otherwise, she'll just go and see the cadets and then see if there's a way for her to see Elaine at that point, too. It's probably a little nervous because she doesn't know which cadets are coming. But, yeah.
Real quick. Hans and Franz, I guess, is there anything else you wanted to say to Una, Josh?
No, it was just that comment I made that,
Okay.
when you do decide to go speak to Elaine, I would like to come with.
Okay.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I have no problem with that. It's probably better to have someone in the party besides her.
Hans and Franz, Andrew's character, are you doing anything special in the morning?
No, I mean
Usual workout.
Usual.
he'd probably stop by. And we don't have to do anything with this because you're not Sam, but he would stop by and just check on Nora and see how she's doing.
She's sleeping in as of right now. But you can just give me a insight check or a medicine check.
I gotta roll.
Do you have proficiency in psyche, Val?
I will. Yep. 23. What? Okay.
You walk up and kind of see Rowan sitting there, and you just are kind of like looking Nora over, and you've seen her look like this before. And it's specifically when like when you guys fought the water elementals and that one like at the very, very beginning of the canon, the water elemental part.
One splashed her.
Yeah. So you recognize the same look of fear and like distress that she had from then, but this time it actually seems like more. There's a lot more there, where it's almost like you've seen it as battle shock.
Just again, flavor.
Yep.
Nothing to.
Yeah.
I reach down and I just say, "Sleep on now. You get through this," and I'll cast heroism on her. It only lasts for a minute, but.
You see in the minute that you've cast it, though, there is like the troubles on her face do seem to relax a little bit. Like her brows are a little less tense and stuff and furrowed. She's not kind of like grinding her teeth.
You can no longer hear her teeth grinding.
Yes, she looks a little bit more like, and the tension that was still kind of there even in sleep, like you can see her shoulders droop a bit, like she relaxes, and her hand is not quite so like clenched up. So she did relax a bit. So, and Rowan is sitting right there looking on as you do this.
Okay, I'll give him a nod and fuck off to find something else to do.
Does Rowan say anything after witnessing Hans and Franz boop his sister?
No. I think Rowan's just pensive, I guess, for the lack of a better word. Not like worried for her, but
Ooh, Hans and Franz.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an insight check.
13.
You're not sure how it's possible, but Rowan looks even more exhausted and tired than he did last night when this all happened.
Double battle shock.
Like he doesn't look bad. He looks very he just looks very distressed. What?
His bark's turning kind of gray.
Yeah.
His bows are droopy.
Turning into like barnwood.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I was gonna.
what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say something else, but then he'd have to use one of his abilities to pick up on.
Oh.
And so he wouldn't automatically.
Were you gonna
that.
say my runes are dim, or something?
No, he wouldn't
Oh,
use his.
No,
he would use his
they're not
paladin
dim
sense.
anymore. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, he would never.
No, I was gonna say kind of like a plant that needs water. My
Yeah.
my
He's drooping.
tree hair is a little.
It's curling in.
Yeah.
The little tiny leaves are curling.
Yep.
Quietly, I'll like sit down at the bed across and just like, "Are you okay?"
I think so. I had I don't know if it was a dream. I think it may have been a vision last night. I was some creature, some monster, it felt like, shrouded in smoke. And I was flying over a village and crashed through some man's window. And I think whatever I was killed him. And I heard lots of screams and shouts. And then I woke up and I don't know if I've told you this, but I've started to meditate on these weird things that are happening to me.
Probably a good idea.
Seeing.
You were the one who told him to start meditating, if I remember correctly.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
it
I was like,
It's been so long.
It's like I think it was Andrew's character that told you to meditate.
Back it up. like you suggested a while ago, I've been meditating on these strange things, and I heard someone talking about the mist, saying that they're coming back, need someone to help. They don't have enough people. They don't have enough power or something.
So, do you think they're reaching out to you for help?
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, here's the thing. You're the vision that you were, some sort of smoke misty monster. But from what I know of you, you would never do the things that it did. So maybe you're having these visions to help you stop it if it comes. Maybe these people were like, "Hey, Rowan, you know, you totally help us out with this."
I wish things were so clear.
Well, they can be that clear.
How?
You just go, if this thing comes, I won't let it hurt anybody. If I can. I mean, I'm already thinking that right now. This thing shows up, I'll
Of
protect everybody I
course.
can.
Of course. But as far as what's being asked of me, I wish there was more guidance.
Yeah,
The only direct communication I've had was a figure telling me to remember what I promised. I obviously don't remember, and I don't know how to remember something that I can't recall promising.
I mean, maybe it wasn't something that you promised, but the previous someone, and whoever this spirit is trying to hold you to it, which is bunk. I mean, how are you supposed to? I mean, maybe it's a promise that you can't keep. Make sure to drink your Ovaltine or something. Okay, done. But sorry, Nick and I were talking about a Christmas story the other day, and that's been be sure to drink your Ovaltine. It's been stuck in my head.
What the?
In the middle of when you were talking about your dream and breaking through the window, I had to mute myself and cover my mouth because all I could think about was, God, I should have had it be like, and you break in through the window and you hear a voice say, "Oh yeah."
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Terrible.
But it could have been some. I'm assuming it wasn't some inane promise, but I mean, without any more information, how are you supposed to know? Even if it was technically you that made the promise, when you were just a being brought into this world or something, that's you can't keep you can't make somebody keep promises that were made during a stressful situation, if that makes sense. In the heat of battle, if I'm like, Rowan, protect my brother, and you say I promise, and then my brother would die, I mean, I'd be devastated. But I wouldn't hold that against you. There's a lot going on. I would trust that you did. If you weren't actively protecting him, you were doing whatever you thought was right at the moment. So it's hard to, keep
Well-
promises a lot of the times in those situations. But we also don't know what the promise was, or when it was made, or by who.
Whatever it was, whoever made the promise, it seems very important.
Yeah.
It seems like many lives are at stake.
Yeah.
So I think I need to figure out how I can get in contact with my past life, if there is one.
Have you tried going to the temples at all? I know your sister went one time.
I haven't tried going back to the temples.
You know, maybe they know something. So this man that you attacked. I don't know if this is a thing in this world, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
Finger
Air quotes.
attacked.
Um,
It could have just been a hug.
when you attacked that person, was it a human? Was it a fae?
I think he was human. Lizzie, did I recognize him for any reason?
Give me an insight check.
Ooh, 17.
Yeah, it was fucking old Stanky Joe.
Crazy Joe, they called him. He was a bit of a wizard in his day.
Crazy old Marie.
Well, he told everybody he was a wizard. He actually just had some fireworks.
My one good insight roll is
Wizard
on
Pepper.
some random guy in a dream.
You don't really remember seeing him before. The only thing that was kind of noticeable about him was he was probably in his early 40s. He had long brown gray hair. It was like just kind of tied back. He was working at his desk. He was wearing like nicer material clothes. Like they looked like just casual, like at ease clothes, but the shirt, undershirt and stuff he was wearing was made out of like fine linen and maybe like a silk blend.
So I remembered flying through. It wasn't like a castle. It was more of like a keep, right? So he could have been.
It wasn't necessarily a keep. It actually was a very. It looked like it was a stone house, like for
Okay.
what you can remember. And you know that the average people do not have glass windows on their houses.
Right.
From just you're walking in the street, and it was at least a level or two.
Right, because I flew over a bunch of.
Yeah, you flew over.
Houses.
You were like, you think you were flying over fields or something. Then you flew over a wall, and then you kind of flew over a little bit of another wall. Then you flew past a bunch of other nice houses, a paved road. There was a river, and there was nice trees and hedges, and then you hit that house.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you remember. But yeah, the guy didn't really look specific, but
So he was probably someone important. How important? We don't know. I don't know.
the most
Perhaps
important-
self-important.
So, if there was a human attacked by a mist monster, Lizzie, does that mist monster mean anything like from like old stories of the bed? Like, was it something that like afflicted a large enough area where I may know something from the stories of the Bendaya?
Lost.
For the mist, you wanted to know if there was mist or anything related to the Bendaya or something like that?
Well, like, so he said, like, he described what he thought he was.
Like mist or shadow or like
Yeah,
smoke.
yeah. Does that tickle anything in my Bendaya brain?
Give me a. It could qualify as either history or religion, so go ahead and give me which one.
6 for religion.
Nice.
You know, there's something about it, but you don't know what it is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll do some digging. Do you know what we're doing today? Are we not? Are we going back into the ducks?
Rowan?
Oh, sorry. I forgot we were having a conversation.
He's just talking to the lady in his head and
Checked
just
out.
looking off to the left. Just
I don't know if we're going back to the aqueducts or not. I heard your brother and Una talking about going to see Lady Elaine
Oh, for what?
to ask about the creature that Una spoke to while we were down there.
The monster that's trying to be friendly? Air quotes.
Right.
The bullshit monster.
You can both see Nora is stirring and is awake at this point, by the way.
Okay.
Sorry.
She doesn't say anything. She's just kind of like rubbing her eyes and like waking up.
I'll put my hand on her arm and just sort of keep talking. It seems that Hans and Franz thinks that the creature that was speaking to Una and the creature that spoke to Nora were one and the same.
I mean, it makes sense. I don't think you have too many monsters
Right.
in an aqueduct that are going to be speaking to people through the mines.
Una doesn't think so,
Yeah,
but
I like Una. She's like family to me. But much like my cousin Vinny, she can be a little naive sometimes.
right. I have a hard time believing that it wouldn't be the same creature. If it's smart enough to speak mentally to someone, then it's smart enough to be kind to one and terrify the other.
Yeah, to be manipulative. And I mean, maybe they're not, but yeah, the chances are pretty low. Well, I'll be back in a couple hours. If you guys
Okay.
need to get a hold of me, I don't know where I'll be yet, so I'll be back, I guess.
I'll be
Okay.
back. Yes, we got another Arnold line.
And I'll put my hand on Rowan's shoulder as I get up and start walking away, and just kind of stay strong and keep walking.
Rowan will look to
Give Nora her time to wake up. And
Nora. Are you feeling okay?
I don't know yet. Maybe. I feel weird, odd, uncomfortable, violated. That's how I would describe it, I suppose.
How much of mine and Hans and Franz's conversation did you hear?
A bit. I do think we all need to talk about all of this. I don't think any of us are on the same page yet. We need to make sure that we're in this together.
I think so too.
Rowan, that was... It was terrifying. It talked to me about back then. You know,
How could it know?
I don't know. I don't know, and that's what scares me the most. But regardless, I can tell. It's not our friend. I want them to know that. But I don't really know how to tell everybody. Regardless, they have to know.
I think we may just have to tell them. If we want them to trust us fully, then we have to trust them fully, knowing everything.
I do trust them. It's less of them and more of me. I don't know if I'm even really ready to face all of this again.
I know.
And you can see that she's got tears in her eyes.
I know it's hard. I don't know. I don't know what it was like for you. I came after. But from what you've told me, it's a very important part of who you are. And if they know you, if they love you, I feel it's only right that they know.
Okay.
You don't have to tell them right away. But I feel like it would be better to tell them sooner rather than later.
You're right.
And speaking of sooner rather than later, I had a vision last night. It's also terrifying, so prepare yourself.
Well,
Um,
I suppose it's best to get all of the terrifying things out of the way right away, isn't it? Okay.
And I'll retell the story of the dream.
All right, you do that. And also, that was a great transition, Aaron. By the way, speaking of things we don't want to talk about, we should talk about my terrifying dream.
One thing that I don't remember if I told you about what the physician said.
Yeah, you did. You
Yeah.
told her about.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah.
Norman's.
Sorry. Hans and Franz thinks that it may have something to do with the potential past life that I may have had. Maybe they promised something and now I'm expected to uphold it. I'm not really sure how to figure out if that's true. If I can somehow contact my past life, if I can somehow contact whoever's been speaking to me. I just keep running into more questions and not finding as many answers. And I'm not sure how to move forward.
You know how we talked about maybe visiting back home soon? I think we should do that sooner rather than later. Since we're
Maybe you're right.
at this point, I feel like it's the only place we're going to be able to find potential answers. Go back to where you came from, where I came from. Perhaps there's someone there we can ask. Do some digging. I know they don't necessarily like digging, people getting into things, but this is warranted.
I think you're right.
We'll discuss this more after we figure out this other thing. Hang in there.
Yes.
But
let's figure out what we're going to do, and we can send a message to Mama and Papa.
good idea. Is everyone
I'll
else
just
up?
Yeah, it's a little bit later in the morning, so Hans and Franz and Una, you're probably eating breakfast or whatnot. Andrew, your Hans and Franz went off to. You probably would have ran in and done your blessing on your heroism on Nora after your workout and stuff. So you're in eating. Let's just say you're all at the breakfast area for convenience sake.
Oh no.
Oh,
Hans
no.
and Franz is not being any sort of convenient right now. He got his breakfast to go. He made the very first burrito in history, and he is
Cannon.
and he is like, we should put food in bread more often.
If it's just in
Wouldn't
bread,
that
that's
be
not a
a
burrito.
sandwich?
No,
Yeah,
no,
that'd
it's
be-
rolled. It's like
Oh.
pita bread, you know.
So you made a
Tortilla.
gotta make this dinner. It's so.
here, yeah.
Anyway,
You made a
He-
gyro, not a burrito.
yeah, I made a euro. That's
You made a
fine.
gyro.
No, we call it. Oh yeah, we call it guiros in here.
Gyros.
Anyway, he is going to talk to, if there's any around, the hunters of the guild, like the old seasoned hunters, and he's going to be asking them how to hunt something in a water environment and what do you use.
All right, give me a percentile roll.
All right. Give me that D194.
All right.
Why doesn't he ask the fellow hunter who specializes in hunting in water?
Because you're compromised.
Because you're compromised.
Okay, so are trying to eat your breakfast with this genius invention you just made of a Euro, where it's like you're multitasking. And there's not that many hunters. There's a few in there, and they're like, no, sorry, I'm inland, or no, I deal with furs or whatever. And then as you're kind of like getting frustrated talking to them, all of a sudden you hear like this sound behind you, and it's like, and it's the sound of like glass, like a hook.
Is he connecting to
It's like
the internet via an old dial-up modem?
56K.
You got 56.6?
It's a scratching sound of like metal against stone, basically.
Yep.
And you turn and see, they're like, stop doing that, Quince. And you turn around and like you see an old, gnarled looking man. Looks like he's probably an alcoholic just from like the shallowness of his complexion. Kind of got salt and pepper grayed hair and has a hook hand. And he's like, you want to be talking about fighting sea monsters, boy? What's a land lover like you want with them? And they're like, we're going to leave you to it. And they just kind of like leave. And you see this hand-hooked individual lean forward, studying.
Hans and Franz is going to extend his hand and say, hello, I am Hans and Franz. Did I hear your name is Quince?
Quince to those who know me, Quincy to those who I don't know well. You can call me Quincy. Yes, Andrew,
Okay.
I'm clearly making a Jaws reference.
Perfect.
Quince to my friends and Quince to those I've only just met, because that's my fucking name.
Okay, Quincy. Yeah. Well, so it's not so much things on the sea, but there's like something down in the aqueducts that came from the Broken Isles way up north, and it spooked one of my friends, and I want to take care of it.
Oh shit. Well, I rolled really bad for this guy. He's like, there could be thousands of foul things that...
I just need to know what's a good thing to get, something in the water. Like, we used to fish for fish with spears and get them in the water, and, but I don't know how big this thing is. It's big enough to scare a great octopus squid thing.
You've been in your cups this morning, boy. Or you
No.
told me truth.
I tell you the truth, Mr. Quincy.
He takes a sip of his drink. It's a long one. And you're pretty sure it's a strong alcohol. There be foul things in the oceans up there. Strange creatures that man or beast, they shift shapes. There be creatures older than time itself that want to drag you down beneath their depths. There be creatures that have large shells and they float behind a ship, making you think they're an island until they pull it under. Something that big couldn't fit under the aqueducts, though, I'll tell you that much. But
It's a little smaller than you used to then.
I don't know what type of creature it is. Normally, though, they don't like fire or skin. You could probably try to blind them since their eyes are used to the depths of the sea.
I need a weapon. I need to know what to make. Can you tell me if there's a good hunting tool for things in the water?
Harpoon. A harpoon would work well.
How do you make a harpoon?
I haven't made one in a long time or had need for one. Give me a persuasion check.
Oh boy.
You don't just have one on your person? Like, come on.
Oh, 19. Oh, thank goodness.
You look inexperienced. Hold on a minute. And he leaves you and then goes to one of the guest rooms where he was staying. And he comes back out with a very long sea glass harpoon. He's like, I got this off somebody who made their living on the sea. Actually, no, it won't be sea lice. We'll say it's obsidian. There's people that have boat islands that they travel around and fight all sorts of nasty things. I had one as a friend, and I lost him to the sea.
Same time I lost this hand.
And he left me his harpoon and other weapons, but I haven't been out there in a long time. I'm mostly in retirement. Trying to get into beekeeping. I hear it's good money.
That's a good idea. I love bees.
Maybe I could get your advice. But I'll tell you what, since this isn't seeing any use, I'll give it to you. Do it for... Kill this foul thing for Clarence.
Well, I don't know who Clarence is, but I'll do it in the name of Clarence. Thank you, Mr. Quincy. I won't forget this.
All right, Clarence. And he's going to look at the spear
I'm gonna try to.
and say,
Okay, Clarence. We're gonna get ourselves a water monster.
Okay.
and he's going to go back to the breakfast table with the harpoon just like with him as like his best friend. And he's going to sit back down with Una.
All right, I'm ready.
Una's just gonna shake her head.
Meet,
Like, okay.
meet
Um,
Clarence.
I guess you can name it as such. Okay.
No. Mr. Quincy named it. This is Clarence.
I know Quincy. Like, I probably like I.
Yeah, Una. I'm not even.
Yeah,
gonna
you called him
Una-
QQ.
Yeah, Una knows Quincy. He is a very salty old man who did hard time hunting on the seas, did whaling, did all sorts.
You did
of
hard
things.
time.
He was experienced as a hunter. He was definitely a drinker. You know that thing was given to him by somebody who actually Una probably knows about them. There are some humans that are not part of her people that live on like houseboats and travel around. And they have obsidian weapons, so she would have heard of them before. They have a name that I don't remember what it is right now. And she knows that Clarence was the person that owned it and died. That was his friend. So that's what Una knows.
Huh.
Whether she corrects that notion or not, it's totally
No.
up to you.
Una's just gonna smile and nod her head, like, okay. We should get going though to the school, and a couple of people from my village are coming, as well as the sooner we can talk to Elaine, the better.
Well, did she respond to your letter?
I need to go to the school anyways today, so if you wanted to join me to the school, or I can try to send Spreul to come and get you if I'm able to get an audience with her.
No, I'll just put Clarence away. Give me a couple minutes.
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the bunk. Or no, I'm going to put Clarence. I'm going to put Clarence in the smithy because I need to make copies.
Okay.
You're
as
copying Clarence. How dare you?
As you're going back to the forge, you see Hans and Franz, Rowan, and Nora all emerging from the bedroom. Or no, Hans and Franz, you went to the. Let's say you went to the kitchen. Whatever. You all get your way to the kitchen
Kitchen.
or the food, the dining hall, whatever.
Okay. Make it back.
Yep.
Right, I'm ready to go. Nora, you're awake.
With the
Hans and Franz forgets everything and goes over to Nora.
some hearing her name being like called all excitedly, she kind of just like stumbles back and almost in like a defensive maneuver. She's still kind of on edge. And
Yeah.
she smiles and says, "Oh, hi, Hans and Franz."
Hello, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. Are you okay? How are you doing? Did you sleep okay? What would you like for
I'm-
breakfast?
I'm not really sure. I'm not all that hungry. Maybe just some fruit.
Sure, yeah, okay.
Hans and Franz zooms away.
Nora's just
Get
kind
some
of like
fruit.
looking back and forth between everybody and stuff and like just kind of like taking in the like, I feel like I'm the center of attention right now and I don't like it.
Too
Story
bad,
of her
so
life.
Bad.
Yeah.
Can I roll insight to see if I can tell that that's how she feels?
That Nora feels uncomfortable? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Insight.
Oh no. Back to my normal natural 1 insight.
Absolutely nothing.
I was
She's
going to say, like,
fine.
if I can tell that she's like,
Mhm.
oh god, don't pay attention to me, then I'd like try and take the attention away, but I don't fucking know.
Look, everybody, I can do this. Blah! Just all the runes turned on. I learned this trick last night.
I think Nora's just gonna go ahead and go sit at a table and try to just like get everybody in the same spot so that we can all talk about this.
Okay.
I'll bring a plate of, like, do we have grapes?
Yeah, you can have grapes. It's apple
Okay, so,
season.
like, grapes and apples and
Not-
maybe some cantaloupe.
No, you can't get cantaloupe, but you can
How
get
about oranges?
No.
Citrus?
No.
Any citrus? No.
nuts. You can
Okay.
get some nuts. And maybe some berries, some like blueberries or something like that.
Okay, so blueberries,
Mm.
grapes, and apple slices.
Yep.
Delicious.
What? That's what Hans and Franz will bring. Just a small little bowl, because she said she didn't want much.
Nora's gonna look up at him and just say thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
And then he'll sit across from her so he can keep an eye on her.
So have
So, no, go ahead. No, sorry. Go ahead.
have you all talked about what we're going to be doing? I'm sorry
Oh.
I slept in so late.
I would like to see Lady Elaine today, actually, in regards to that one creature that we came across, whether it's the same one or not, as Hans and Franz and I have discussed prior, will be determined. But I definitely would like to speak to her regarding that, because the easiest thing is just to give it what it wants and send it back. Then we don't have to worry about it, whether it's good or bad.
Well,
And
yeah, we do have to worry about this if it's bad. I'm not just gonna let it out on the other people.
We can't let it out.
And what
Yeah,
does it want?
And
Like,
what's Lady
if it's
Lane gonna
in
know?
home. I mean, but who knows if it's the same creature too?
What did it
I-
sound like to you?
Exactly like what she wanted it to sound like.
I guess
Nice,
she was
friendly spirit.
very friendly. I guess I felt no ill from him, which is why it's very strange to me. And it's very possible that Para, being unskilled, summoned multiple things, or multiple things came through. Granted, I do find it very unlikely that two creatures using mind capabilities would be in the same area, but if she was trying to contact something on a plane, that could be their form of communication, which is why I'm not.
But it
entirely
doesn't sound
sure.
like it's something from another plane. It wants to go back to the islands. So if it's from another plane, why does it want to go there?
It doesn't want to go back to the islands. It just wants to get out of the sewer. And the easiest thing to do, instead of bringing it to the ocean, would be to banish it back to its plane.
Just like go down and be like, be gone, go home, get out of here.
Well, yes, most likely. I mean, since you're friendly with me, I'd probably try to open a communication line with him and see if
Well, I
he'd
think-
be willing, especially since he doesn't want to be in there anyways, and that's the easiest way to get him to go back.
I think we'd all feel a bit more comforted if other people were allowed to talk to this thing.
Well,
That
I
would
think
be
Nora has, and she says it's not
That's
friendly.
yeah.
I don't
exactly.
want any of you talking to it. I'm sorry. I don't.
Lizzie's like, well, fine, fuck
Well
you then.
then.
You don't want to talk to me, God.
I mean, I don't think we have a choice. Either we do what it sounds like you guys want, which is to kill it.
I mean, I just want to know if it is the same creature and what it really wants, because from
I
what it sounds
agree.
like, what it said to you and what it said to Nara were completely opposite things.
Exactly, which is why I'm finding it very difficult to think that it's the same creature, though it could be. I mean, what is the true likelihood that it is that? But if it is unfriendly to Nora, then we should send it back. I don't think that killing it would be the best way to go about it, especially since it sounded old.
Nara, can you tell us why it wasn't friendly or how it wasn't friendly?
Does she know exactly what it said to Una? I don't remember.
Wait, is it to Una or
Not
was it to her?
exactly.
No.
Okay.
It was just that I contributed, which
Wait,
is friendly. Let's
Said
leave
to-
it alone.
wait, do you know what it... You want to know what it said to Una or you?
To Una.
Oh. I'm
Not
trying to-
exactly, but
Yeah,
like
'cause-
Megan's recap
Yeah.
was that, oh, it's friendly, it's here, it wants to go
Oh,
home,
that's
and it might
about
have
all we
knowledge
got?
about the artifact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I think Megan
Okay.
said to you guys.
Yep.
Nora's gonna look straight at Una, like in the eye. What did it say to you?
It was super friendly to Una. Like, I'm trying to like recap pretty much what I said. It
Called you the child of the sea.
yeah, it called me the
Yeah.
child of the
something like that.
sea, which is basically the origin of my kind, which makes sense. And said that the other one, Para, was the one who accidentally brought him here, pulled him
Yeah.
through.
Yeah. That she was very arrogant, that
yeah, she
they
was
were
very
interested in
arrogant.
something. What were they looking for? You told him
Yeah.
it was an artifact of blah, and he's like,
Yeah,
oh, I don't know. There's a lot of really old creatures. Maybe if I could examine it or you could get
Yeah.
more information, I could help
And
you. That's
then
kind of what
he
yeah.
was willing to look into the artifact, which would be a great help, to us.
Mhm.
And he was very cordial, and he basically was just stating that he didn't want to be in the aqueducts anymore, and either getting him sent home or just out into the sea was acceptable. I mean, he did seem to know about me, but that could have came, or my people at least, or recognized what I was. But that could have came from Para or Ulin or anyone else who was there upon his original summoning.
Nora just shakes her head and takes a deep breath. This thing, if it is the same creature, is using both of our personalities against us. It is using my worst fears and memories to terrify me, and it is using your trust in other things and want for knowledge against you. It was against Para, correct?
It just said that Para was the one who originally created the hole in which he got through, was pulled through, right? Because he didn't say he went through, he said he was pulled, right?
Yeah, he said he was pulled through, and this is for Megan because I just want to make sure you remember this. He
Yeah.
was very disparaging of Para. He said she was egotistical. She was thought too highly of herself. You were
Yes.
so much nicer and respectful, and it was a pleasure talking to you. This is more of like just me reminding you of flavor, whether Una realizes that was going on or not. He totally
Oh.
was very harsh on Para and basically said
Yeah.
that she was arrogant and didn't know what she.
I don't know if Una would correlate that with being against her, though, versus stating facts, because that was just a fact stated by her, if that makes sense.
Was
Like,
doing. And
yeah, like
yeah, I
it's
mean,
that,
to be
that's what
fair, Para
is.
is very arrogant.
Exactly, and that's
She's
the
So
very
like,
Nora would then rephrase the question. She would say, how did he describe Para versus how he described you?
blah to save time.
So he was negative towards someone that you consider an enemy as well, and played to your
Stroked your ego a
stroked
bit.
your ego. Meanwhile, it asked and was willing to aid in the search for information on this artifact that we are currently seeking out. For me, it preyed upon the darkest parts of my memory to keep me under control. I think this, whatever it is extraordinarily manipulative. And
I am very worried about what it could do to the rest of you if you speak to it. On top of that, and she's looking back at Una, I'm concerned that you're willing to trust it at all, considering it's from a whole nother plane and did this to me. It's terrifying. This isn't something that we can trust at all.
After everything that you said yesterday and today, it does not have my full trust, but I do think that the easiest thing to do is just to give it what it wants, which is to send it home. And then we don't have to worry about it one way or the
Yeah,
other.
but how do we do that?
I mean, if it's communicated with me friendly at this point, I think that I'd be.
Yeah, I don't think we want this thing getting into our heads anymore.
But if it's gotten into mine already, as long as it stays in mine and avoids
Stays in yours
you.
and just monkeys around a bit and does whatever it wants.
I mean, it's already been in there, so there's not really much more he can learn.
Not so much learn, but things with mental magic are inherently dangerous because we're not generally set up to defend against that.
Well, and that's why I'd like to speak with Lady Elaine today, actually.
For what?
Just to get general knowledge on creatures like this and see. I do not have the capability to send it back.
Why would Lady Elaine know?
She is a powerful magic practitioner and is head of a magic school, so she
Yeah, but
would have the
Couldn't
knowledge.
we just go talk to somebody at the guild here who's versed in, rather than bothering a lady who you don't have a very good reputation with, and somebody who leads a whole nation? Should we try and find somebody?
I have to go to the school
I
today.
bet Ponder might
anyways.
know.
Ponder could know, but I have to go to the school anyways today as well. So I just figured
But
two birds, one stone. But I mean, if you don't want to talk to her, that's just fine. We could definitely.
I'm not saying that I don't want to talk to her. I'm saying, is there somebody better to speak to about this than the head of a nation?
Well, that is.
I mean, you just said you're going to a school of magic.
What about
You know,
Hughes?
Maybe like Lady Rhiannon may know somebody, or maybe she might know something. This whole guild around us, let's.
Don't lie. Andrew just wants an excuse to go see his fake girlfriend.
No, Hunter Francis is generally
I know. It's funny.
really disturbed that you want to go to Lady Elaine as soon as you have an issue, when you clearly do not like her at all, and it just seems like a really weird
it's
thing
fine.
to do.
The reason I want to go to Lady Elaine is not because the magic. I'm sure that the magic to send this creature back is there, but this artifact and the fact that this creature could possibly have knowledge of it, perhaps Lady Elaine could use that in order to study this, which means that none of us would get involved, and that would be her choice to interact.
We don't want to get anybody. If this thing can get into people's heads, which is probably how it got any sort of knowledge about this artifact, because it didn't give any specifics, or just like, hey, that artifact you're looking at, I think I might know something about it.
I brought up the artifact to the creature once he told me he was ancient. He said he was an ancient being from a different plane, and that is what this remnant is as well.
Trustworthy or not, I don't know if we should give any ancient artifacts to ancient beings.
People that just talk in your head.
And I agree, which is why I would like to speak with Lady Elaine, or someone with higher power who I'm sure is protected from mind magic and has the ability to mind shield and would be able to, if choosing to, use this source. And if not, we send it back and we don't have to worry about it. No artifact involved.
Yes, Aaron?
What's the magic person in the guild? What's her name?
Lavinia.
Lavinia.
And what's her practice?
She's
She
a
mostly
wizard.
analyzes magical artifacts that come in through the guild to validate if they're legit or not, if they're counterfeits,
Oh.
what their properties are.
Mhm.
She helps enchant the wards around the guild too.
Has anyone seen Lavinia today? We could ask her.
No,
I
I don't. I haven't seen her.
I don't know who that is.
She may know what the item is.
You do know who she is, Hans and Franz. You ran into her the first night in the bathtub when she yelled at you guys for yelling.
Yeah, I didn't get her name though. Just her sweet, sweet booty.
Clothed! You were the one naked.
So that's all she knows of me then.
You're
It's just my
loud.
sweet, sweet booty.
And you're loud.
Who's Lavinia?
Is a wizard that works here at the guild.
Oh. Don't know if I met her.
You can't miss her. She gets a big pointy hat.
Doesn't-
No, she doesn't wear a big
She's
point.
a half elf. She's really pale. She has really long black hair. Kind of always has a
Wow.
resting bitch face.
Hans
Sounds
Franz doesn't say
familiar.
that last part.
No, but she just always has this expression of like, do you really? know
Sounds
who you are?
familiar. I think I've seen her around maybe.
I recognize that disdain.
But so you want to go speak to Lady Elaine about possibly putting her in contact with an ancient mind-reading entity that may or may not know something about the artifact.
I want to provide her the choice, given the information
Why?
that I was. Because this artifact is key to stopping,
How is it the key to stopping the first ones?
because it's something that they're after.
Yeah, but we can't use it to stop them. We just
Yeah,
have
it's
to
not
keep
like
it
true.
away from them.
But
Yeah.
understanding why they wanted it in the first place, what significance it might have.
I mean, we were
whole
told
purpose
that
is-
it could be used to summon this old dead water god or something. Like
Yes,
you got all the little
Dude, which
spines.
And
this
that's
thing
just
you're
a
talking to
tiny
could
little
very well
bit.
be, in the service of.
it's highly possible. Anything could be.
Which is
But
why you just leave it in the hands of Lady Elaine, locked in a vault, safe and sound from anything.
And then we just go down there and kill this thing, or send it back, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, how is sending something back easy?
Yeah, what's the plan for just sending it back? Do we just put
Like,
it on
I
the
don't
ship?
think we could carry this thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't think so. I mean, maybe.
I mean, let's check with Lavinia. Because
yes,
if we don't have to bother Lady Elaine, that'd probably be, be best.
Maybe we go down there and try to make contact with this thing again. Not necessarily talk to it, looking at Nora, but if there are two different things and one's friendly and one's not, if the friendly thing comes and says hi and gives us some information, then it gives us information.
but it needed to see the artifact. It couldn't, based
we
off
just
of what I
describe it?
provided it could not understand. It said it needed to see it in order to.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Which is why I wanted to speak
No.
to Lady Elaine about. I want to give her the choice to utilize this tool if she so chooses. And if not, then just send it back. Both of it, one of it, whatever, if it's 1 or 2 or 5.
So if we go down there and this thing attacks us, then we have an answer. If it goes down and actually plays nice, then we can approach Lady Elaine.
But we shouldn't go down there without being prepared. I think
No, yeah, for sure. For
Rowan's
sure.
idea of talking to Lavinia is a good one. I thought about Ponder, but Lavinia is probably a
don't-
little more practiced.
And especially even if Lady Elaine is interested, who do you think she's going to send back down there to speak to this thing for her? Probably us.
Probably Lady
Because
Seamus. Oh,
Because we're expendable. If this thing is a terrible monstrosity and we don't come back, oh well,
I
And
guess
you think with that disposable?
Yeah, brother, we're not even from a kingdom.
Yeah, okay.
in my assumption it was two birds, one stone instead of going down there multiple times because of all the different things that we faced.
Well,
Just giving him the facts
but
first.
if we go down there and he's like, yeah, let's have a burrito party and hang out.
You know about the burritos?
Yeah, I saw you walking with it, and you're like, ooh, Mexican burritos, yeah, they're so good. I think everybody knows what they're on
Don't
now.
sing like that.
Yeah, that's exactly. You sing just like burrito, yeah, you're so delicious, burrito.
Ron's just like hiding his face with his hand.
I think
But-
there's a very easy way to move forward with this. Considering
Yes.
it seems like we're a little bit at odds, I think we're also considering the fact that if we ask to speak to Lady Elaine, it'll just happen. Probably won't. I think Una's idea of talking to her, if she wants to talk, before going down there is probably a good idea so we don't have to backtrack. But if she doesn't want to talk, I don't think we should force it, and we should just continue as planned of sending this thing back to where it came from.
I agree with that.
So let's go talk to Luvenia then, and figure out if she knows a way to send this thing packing. And then we can work our way up, the ladder. But you said you already sent word to Lady Elaine?
I went there yesterday, but I have to go to the keep today anyways.
So then we'll all go with, and if she wants to talk to us, cool beans. If not,
I agree. We can go. Like I said, I have to go to the keep today.
for
To the
what?
academy.
If you don't mind me asking.
To the academy. They sent a couple more cadets, like myself, up to study the artifact from my
Oh,
village.
anybody you know?
I don't know. But I would like to be involved in the process of identifying the artifact.
Didn't you already see the artifact?
I've seen it, yes, but I want to know who they sent and let them
Are there a
know.
lot of cadets? You know who's coming.
I have no idea who's coming. She has a couple of
Two cadets in total.
yeah,
Um,
and that's just so 5 out of a possible 100. So, I mean,
Do you not know, aren't all the cadets of your age? Do you
I-
not spend time together with them?
we are separated once we are discerned our gift. If we have it, then we get put into different branches, and then we're trained with those like-minded, like ability.
So, is
So-
anybody you're helping?
Andrew, I love it.
I mean, it depends on. We have the group that I originally came with. It would be nice to see them. There was 10 of us that were sent to the mainland. Then we split into a group of 5, and my best friend was one of them, and he and I split ways 8 months ago now. What? It's been 2 months since I'm with the group, so 8 months ago. So it would be nice to see him again. But I mean, I highly doubt that they would send him, since he's like me, more of a fighter and one with the land versus one that studies magic.
But you have magic.
I have magic because it's my choice and I've studied. Not all rangers are like me. I was intrigued by the magical forces and the ability to strive for knowledge, which is how I got my magic and why I have this book.
But I've
Because I want to
seen,
know more.
we had people that had similar abilities to you in our village, and they could do magic.
Yes, but not researchy type magic, which is what's required of this artifact.
Okay. Are you hoping to see him now?
He is my best friend, and it's been 8 months, which is the longest that we've been apart. So yes, it would be nice to see him again.
Nice. What's his name?
Oren. We have grown up together and have trained together for my entire life. So he's always just been the one who's been the closest to me.
Nice. Well, hopefully we get to meet this on.
If he came, we'll have to see. Like I said, I don't know why they would send him, unless maybe to help guard those who are here to study the artifact.
I mean, maybe your dad did you a favor.
It is possible.
Wow, he's the helping. What time do we have to go up to the school?
They're arriving in the morning sometime, so probably like 10, 11 Una, so like you would assume close to now-ish.
Well, my plan was to go now.
Did you guys hear that?
Thanks,
It's the
narrator.
ghost-
I
ghost
am
of the
magic.
guild.
I am magic. I ask
Um,
questions and I get answers.
There you go. I was planning on leaving now or shortly after we got done with dinner, just to get this done and over with, so that way we'd have plenty of time to establish a plan or go back down. We also need to go to the one hunter place thing and turn in the creatures that we already have.
Or should we just wait until we
Oh.
get them all killed?
Well, we can do some now, and if we're going back, then we can. But if we're not going to go back, then there's no point. I mean, if we speak to Lady Lade and she wants to talk to the monster and she wants to take care of it, then we're not going back down. At least not for a while, I'd assume. Unless we wanted
It's
to.
always better to
but-
do in bulk, so maybe that'll be the last thing we do before we leave the academy.
Yes. I
'Cause then
agree.
By then
mean-
we'll know if we're going to go back or not.
Well, we can drop it off and then go back down because they're right next to each other. They're within a couple of blocks of each other, the entrance that we went in originally.
Where do we have all of this stuff right now?
Una has vials and samples and things in jars in her wonderful bag
bag.
holding.
If you guys are in
Yes,
roll
you know.
20, the academy is here on this handy dandy map, which is kind of in this
Arden Academy.
in the center of the island or the area. The office you went to that you were gonna get paid from is in East Market, where all the government buildings are, which is like over here. So it's a few blocks up.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So,
If
yeah,
we're
I'm
going back
just
down
saying,
there, we'll wait.
They
If
are
we're
next
not,
to each other,
we
but
can-
yeah.
I do need
Alright.
to get more jars if we do go back down. I've had to improvise with jars.
I wonder
Sure.
if it would be better to turn the stuff in now so that it doesn't degrade any further.
Agreed. And then I get my jars back.
There
That's
you
true.
go.
So while the conversation between my brother and Una was happening, Hans and Franz was like keeping one eye on Nora and then one eye on the rest of the room to see if Lavinia passes through.
All right.
Like a chameleon.
My brother turns into a
Give
I'm-
me a perception check.
Right.
Okay.
11 or my passive of 17.
Okay. With your passive of 17, you see her come in briefly. It looks like she is getting like a light snack, and some sort of like tea, and then gonna start walking back towards where her office is.
She has an office. Okay.
Her office is close to Ponder's.
Yeah, we've seen it
Gotcha.
on the map before.
There's a reason it's all made of stone.
Yeah, in case of explosions.
And not scrying on shit. Not that you guys know that, but
No.
anyway.
we not that smart. We know
Okay.
base magic.
Mhm.
So after we eat our food, Hans and Franz is going to go to Lavinia's office.
Yeah,
Alright.
Nora will go with.
Okay.
How was your fruit, Nora?
It's very good. Thank you so much for getting that for me.
Yes, I'm glad that you got some food in your belly.
Yeah.
What do you want to ask Lavinia?
Oh, I just wanted to come with and kind of see what we end up learning about maybe sending this thing back. The faster and more efficient that we can do this, the better.
Agreed. Yeah, absolutely.
Is her door open or closed, Lizzie?
It's closed, but that's normal.
Hans and Franz will knock,
Come in.
open the door.
Hello. This is Hans and Franz and Nora. Sorry to bother you. But we had a question about sending creatures back to other planes.
She kind of was flipping through some books and like examining something on her desk. It looked like a piece of jewelry, and then was looking at you specifically, Hans and Franz, for a minute, like up and down, like have I seen
Haven't I seen you naked before?
Yeah, exactly. And then is like, no, not that one. And then kind of like looks to Nora, who she remembers, and kind of like, okay, I know who you are. And she's like,
Wait, no, not that one.
yeah. You have questions about banishing things from other planes?
Yeah, sure. We think there's something down in the aqueducts that talks through your mind and told one of our companions that it came here from another plane and it wants to go home.
Was it in the water? Was it something that walked above water?
No, it was in the water.
Oh, you can see her. You think there's something in the water, in the aqueducts?
Yeah, Nora. I think Nora, did you see it?
No, I didn't actually see it, but I heard it, and we need to send it back as soon as possible.
You can see her like, well, I know of a few things from my studies that reside. Not many have telepathic abilities, except for one of them that I can think of, and that's above your pay grade, kids. I would definitely hand that off to somebody else.
What is it?
How much do we have to pay?
You heard it through your mind, did you see it at all?
No, I don't think either of our other
I think
companion
we got like
also.
a glimpse.
Didn't you say Spriul saw it?
She says, I feel like
Man,
did Nora
Who
see
saw
like
shit?
anything,
No,
or she?
saw the mucus left in the water.
Yeah, she didn't actively see it.
Mhm.
and Spriel just saw like a shadow of something, and
Yeah.
I summoned him back.
It's a
Just in
big
case
shadow,
there
right?
was that thing.
It was a big shadow, right?
Yeah.
Spriol saw some sort of big shadow with tentacles and an eel-like body floating in the water and then like swimming away.
I don't think Una said that though.
No,
I
she
don't
didn't.
know if
Lavinia-
Spriel told her.
Nora would probably tell Lavinia that she saw like I saw this weird inky mucusy kind of stuff in the water.
Ugh.
And I don't know if
Did you
that
touch-
helped.
What?
Did you take any of it?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I think Una.
I
put
think
it in
Una
one of her
has it.
jars.
What was the texture like? Was it like egg white?
Like, you know when you uncontrollably sneeze and it gets on your hands?
Ugh.
It was like
Yes.
egg whites.
Oh, Lord. God, the fates above whatever rules this godforsaken universe. She's like, oh.
Just let us know.
Well, if it's what I think it is, then it's an aboleth. And those are not to be trifled with.
I was right.
Why? What's an aboleth?
Those creatures are very old. They tend to not die, at least mentally. They keep being reborn, so anything that you did to spite it before, it comes back alive and will try to spite you again. You can't really kill them as far as I know. You can just get rid of them for a while. They tend to live somewhere in the one of the water planes. Unfortunately, there are some in the oceans, and they can enslave you. So a whole bunch of fun. What part of the aqueducts is this in? Because I do not want to be going to that part of town. And have you told anyone important?
Section C, subsection A,
All right.
District 47.
I don't know.
yeah. She's like, ugh. No. That is, I mean, banishing it if it wants to go home. But those things are pretty good at not doing what they want. So
Wait, are they nice or are they mean?
I don't even know if I could call it mean. They're just
Manipulative.
very manipulative. I mean, Hans and Franz.
Nora gives
she
that
doesn't know who you are.
I was right kind of
Let
look
me-
to Hans
let me
and
ask you
Franz.
this. If you ran into an
It's Nas.
if you ran into an ant, would you care about its feelings or thoughts?
I mean, I don't think so. I never gave ants much thought. Unless they bit me, then I gave them a little bit of thought.
Yes. In that case, you would be the ant, and the aboleth would step on you.
Oh.
It doesn't care
very-
about what happens to us at all. It's probably just trying to use us for whatever it actually wants.
No, in fact, I'm actually surprised it didn't try to enslave you, because they tend to do that.
It's definitely trying to get on the good side with one of our companions.
Well, I wouldn't trust it farther than I could throw anything, and that's not very far at all. I think the only thing you could assume is that it probably is happy with where it is, or if it's not. If it really wanted to leave, it probably would have, so I wouldn't. This was such a nice city. I don't want to have to move. Ugh.
Well,
It's-
can you get rid of it?
I mean, I don't have the spell for that. It's a very high level spell, but I'm not taking
Does
on
it
an
spell
Do you
for
know where
that?
to get it?
yeah, but I'm not taking on an aboleth.
Where do we get it?
You have to have somebody that can cast levels of magic of the 4th level, and
Yeah, but where?
you have to go find a mage powerful enough to cast it, and also who
Oh.
has the ability to cast it. Someone who has
Oh.
access to certain abjuration magic schools.
Is
Oh, brother.
yeah, brother, been here this whole time, just standing here. So, this aboleth.
You wait, Hans and Franz. You notice her look at you, look up and down, and has a look on her face yep, that is the one I've seen naked, and then kind of proceeds on with the conversation.
Okay. So this aboleth, whatever, it could be living in this, how big are they?
Whatever, she would tell you whatever the dimensions of a large creature are.
Okay. 10 feet long.
Yeah.
Average
pretty-
length 20 feet.
Yeah, they're pretty narrow.
Oh.
Dude, if you are foolish enough to try to go back down there and you get infected and start feeling sick, just get someone to remove disease within a minute or two. Otherwise, you're going to need something more powerful to get rid of it.
No. I don't think we want to go and become slaves to this thing.
Well, yeah, but we can't just leave it, brother, either.
Yeah, but Lavinia said we gotta hire someone to take care of it.
No, we are somebody that gets hired to take care of
She
it.
said we don't get paid enough.
Not
Then
to
we'll
be
ask for more
not
money.
to be rude, but I do have actual work to do. I'm very glad I could help you, but unless there's anything else you need, I do have work to do. Do you
Is
Okay.
there anyone you can recommend to
you.
hire for this job?
I mean, sounds like the city official business. She wouldn't call her Elaine. Her Grace has a bunch of mages. I'm sure that somebody there would be able to. I mean, this is an aboleth. She should know what it is. I mean, I know her.
Oh, okay.
I know her from passing in classes, and she should know what an aboleth is if you explain it as that.
Okay,
Aboleth. Okay. got
we'll
it.
try and, get word to her.
Yeah. I'll have to let Una know she wants to talk to her Grace.
Nah, brother, it's okay. We'll try and get word to her. Thank you very much, Lavanya. You have a good rest of your day.
Thanks, you too. And
And as
remember,
she's like,
I was like, thanks, and please remember, if you do know it gets taken care of, please let me know. I'd like to make sure I don't have to move, and
thank you very much.
See you right away.
Oh, really?
As
Oh,
Hans
I'm
and
just
Franz
chilling.
walks out.
Yeah, so as we're well out of earshot of her, I'm like,
Brother,
Brother,
why can't we tell
we
Una?
can't keep telling people that we know these people. They don't want us to be like, oh yeah, we can totally go talk to Lady Elaine whenever we want to.
Oh,
Yeah, you got to remember some of these things, brother.
but I mean, Lavinia's part of the guild. She's fine, right?
Yeah, but it's not about being in the guild or not.
Hans and Franz looks to Nora. It's to is this correct? Am I stupid?
I mean, we definitely don't want other people thinking we can just get them audiences with Elaine at any time, but I think perhaps we should just kind of keep it on the down low for a bit.
Okay. But are we going to tell Una about the aboleth, or?
Oh yeah.
Our party
I
was
thought
fine.
you were like against saying that to her, and
No, I was saying don't go telling people that we can just
talk to Lady Elaine about anything we want, because
I mean, we can't do that either, but I mean, we literally can't just go pop in and say hi to her, but we don't want people knowing that
not
we have
yet.
a sort of direct line to her.
Okay.
It's not stupidity, brother. You're
Did
trusting.
I say that I was stupid?
You got that look in your face like, am I stupid? And I'm
No,
saying
I
you're
know.
not.
I know that Nora has a high enough insight to probably catch that. I don't have faith that Odds and Franz has enough insight. To catch that.
My brother that I've spent the last 20-something years all the time with,
Yeah, I mean, I would say he probably.
who's proficient in insight as well.
Oh, okay. Well,
he
if you're
actually probably has
proficient, I
a
guess it
better
can't stop you.
insight than Nora does.
Probably. In certain
Doubt it.
aspects. Anyway, so y'all go reconvene, I'm assuming, unless you want to say something else to each other.
I love you, brother.
Yeah, I love you too, brother.
Okay.
Now Hans and Franz is just confused.
Good. Exactly what I want him to be.
So how's it going, Rowan? We're just chilling at the table. Everyone just kind of disappeared.
Things have been better. Yeah, they've been better.
How do you think Nora is after yesterday? Do you think that she's still petrified?
To say that she's shaken to her core would probably be an understatement. I don't think she wants anything to do with this thing. I don't want to without her, because I don't know what she would want me saying, but it seems like this thing knew stuff from our home, which doesn't make any sense, because how could it? So terrified is a good word. There's probably something deeper that could describe it better, but terrified works.
Does it have something to do with her fear of the water?
I think so. That could be a part of it.
I'm just gonna sit there and think. And wait for everybody to come back before she scuttles off, and because they all wanted to go see Lady Elaine with her.
I'm excited because that means I get to have you meet the cadets with them. So that makes me very happy.
It's terrifying.
No.
So,
Dude, if
when we-
bitchy girl is with them, I don't know if I can handle this.
Actually, what were you gonna say, Andrew?
oh, I was just gonna say when we came back out, talk to them.
So you guys go back out into the dining hall. You reconvene.
So,
Go ahead, brother.
no, it's okay.
No, I insist.
Okay, so, what's your name again? Una. I keep wanting to call you and Una, you and Nora each other's names all the time, and it's like a mental flexation where I have to be like, yes. So you were right. Well, you were right in that we should talk to Lady Elaine. Apparently, this thing's probably pretty awful.
Yeah, it's called an
Okay.
aboleth.
Have I heard of those
Possibly.
before?
Give me a nature check. And what are your favorite enemies?
Elementals at this point. Why do I just have elementals?
I think
I
you
have
have
coast
one.
and forest. I think I have monstrosities.
Yeah, it's monstrosities because I gave you advantage on your harpy stuff because you
Yeah.
your harpies and they are monstrosities. Okay, so just a regular nature or history check, whichever one you're.
Just a regular roll.
Well, we're gonna go.
roll.
Either one is a 10.
Okay.
So, unless I get a bonus.
I mean, you're not familiar. It sounds kind of like you're like, I think I've heard that name before, but I don't really remember the details about it from my class. You were like, I remember the dragon turtle because that's like our elders council chamber is built out of a dragon turtle shell, but you don't remember like an apple. That one doesn't confuse much.
Yeah, Josh.
Man.
So I'm not quite familiar.
Yeah. So Una doesn't know exactly what it is.
That's totally fine.
So it's something pretty awful. Lavinia seemed. Lavinia? How do you?
Lavinia.
Lavinia. L.A.
Lavinia.
Lavinia.
Lavinia said that they're pretty awful and it wants to turn us into its slaves.
Yeah, you know those mucus things? Those with slaves.
Yeah. And so we want to tell Lady Elaine about it, but not because it might have information, but because these things apparently make nests and then turn everybody into its followers, and then, yeah. And apparently if we're going to do it, we need to get paid more.
You
That
did
sounds
emphasize
about right.
that 2 times.
Did she know of a way to get rid of it, banish it, send it
Yeah.
back?
Yeah, she said banish. But you need
Yeah.
a powerful magic user, like some of the
Someone who
wizards.
knows like
Elaine
fourth tier
has.
magics.
So, yes, speaking with Lady Elaine sounds like the right thing to do. And I did drop a message off yesterday with the guard to give to her saying that it was urgent, that we set up a time to speak with her. So hopefully she'll have time to see us today. Otherwise, we'll probably have to wait before we go back down. If that is
Yeah.
the case.
All right. Well, then with that, you guys can head to the academy.
To the school. Yay.
Hans and Franz is going to stay behind and make harpoons.
Oh, he's not
Yeah.
gonna go.
to school?
Nope. He's
Just
got work to be
harpoons.
done.
You're gonna make some more clearances.
Why harpoons?
Yeah.
Because Hans and Franz asked what would be a good thing to hunt a large creature in the water, and Quincy said harpoon. And
So
he
he's
gave
gonna
him
copy-
Clarence
Yeah.
the harpoon.
He's gonna copy Clarence.
He's gonna
Yes.
try his best.
Okay. Very well.
You also probably know that spirals, like Una's arrows, probably work really well in the water,
Yeah.
too, just saying.
Whatever this harpoon's design is, Hans and Franz is copying it.
Okay.
Except instead of obsidian, it'll be metal.
Yep.
But, you know, just like, all right, Holy Forge Master coming on in.
Okay, so you stay behind and make harpoons.
I can make one every hour.
Yep, that's. Well, you gotta recharge it, but
Yeah, one every hour. Or
no, you got 2
one
chambers
every
a day.
2 hours.
Yeah, 1 every 2 hours. Okay, so you guys walk to the school. It's a reasonably nice weather day. Definitely feels like fall's starting to set in more. Crisp breezes in the air. You're let in, specifically Una, because you knew that like your father said that their cover is basically like they're exchange students from the coast, and the guards seem to have expected somebody to come meet them here in the city too, so like they let you in. It's not really a big issue. And one of the guards escorts you over to like, they're kind of like in the grounds area like of the school, but on the way there, give me perception checks, you guys.
I'm not doing good today with my rolls. Passive of 15, otherwise 13.
16.
10.
19.
All right, anybody who got above a 15. You noticed that as you were walking through the city today, especially if you got through the central market and more towards the academy, there are like several knights walking through on patrols, and you've seen them before. There's usually not that many of them. They're normally around special events and stuff like that, kind of, or around the noble district and the district where all like the bureaucratic stuff happens. There's a lot more of them walking around on patrols today. And you know that they're wearing full plate armor and they have the gray cloaks with the symbol of 2 rivers on it. And Una, you would probably know this from being in the city. Those are not the city watch, which is what Hughes is. Those are the actual like city guards. Like, they are knighted, they are controlled by the lawmaster of the Wind Plains, and it's unusual to see that many of them walking around.
So either special event or shit's going down. Is that my understanding?
Yep.
Okay.
You've never seen them outside walking around like on a special event, especially like just kind of doing patrols.
Okay, so shit's going down. Got it.
I mean, are there any events that we know of?
We just finished up the one, and I doubt that there'd be another one so soon, right? Because it's been less than a week.
You know, the Harvest
been a week?
Festival. The Harvest Festivals don't normally start for like another week or 2 or 3, just depending on the season.
It's going down. That's what's happening. It's just going down. People are being mind controlled now through the sewer. He's expanded his range. The aboleth is coming. The aboleth is coming.
The aboleth is here.
Anyway, but you managed to get into the school, okay, and you are led around the grounds. And as you're walking through the city, you can see that on the way out from the school, like crossing another part of the yard, it looks like Lady Elaine is walking with Hans and Franz. You recognize him from the fighting pits. Lord Griffin, he was one of the guys who commended you on your skill and offered you a job. He's walking with her and some of the other guards in gray cloaks and full armor, along with her personal guards and Lady Seamus. And they're walking very quickly and out of like the academy up towards the northern part of the city. But it's like away from you guys, so you guys can't interact with her, but like they're like going.
Something's definitely up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Okay.
gonna have Spreul follow them.
Okay, go ahead. And what is Spreul's shape right now? Because he was an octopus.
Oh my god, he's still an octopus.
This is, we might as well just walk after him ourselves.
Yeah.
He can't live. I'm assuming I probably would have changed it back. Let me see how much stuff I have left to be able to do that.
I mean, we were legitimately thinking we might go back into the sewers.
Yeah, you were talking all morning. I don't think you would have had time.
Yeah.
Normally I'd say
Nope,
yes, and I was
he's
like,
still-
okay, he's still an octopus.
Or an octopus, or something.
But the action still stands.
Oh, he would die. He only has a half hour.
He wouldn't die. I mean, if you left him out, then yeah, he would die. But
he has like 30 minutes. I guess I can like summon him like 100.
If you left him out, he's like crawling with his tentacles, holding his breath.
He's
and like
probably
his whole like
terrifying.
head thing is like pulsing. Bird of prey coming right on in.
Right.
Gone.
Well, he's
Are we-
probably deeply disturbing the rest of the people walking around on this.
Right.
Some guy walks by and he's like,
"What's
"Ooh,
here?"
calamari."
What the fuck?
are we being escorted right now?
Yeah, one of the
Lizzie?
guards is showing you where the cadets are, because he said that they didn't call them the cadets. Like, I believe the exchange students are on a tour right now, and they probably are starting in the gardens. Otherwise, they might be inside going to the dormitories. So yeah, you have somebody.
I'd be like, do you know why there are knights about? Seems very strange.
He kind of looks and he's like, no, but I'm sure that if it's
Inside check.
yeah, give me an
I
insight
don't
check.
believe him. Oh no! That's an 8.
He's hard to read.
I also rolled an insight check.
Would you get a 1?
Guess what I
A
rolled?
1?
Every fucking time.
Can Nora give it a shot?
Unless
Sure, anyone who wants to give it a shot can.
unless that has something to do with someone I
20.
have no idea who they are.
20. There you go.
You
20.
genuinely think that he doesn't know? Like he
23.
he doesn't know the information, both Hans and Franz and Nora, but he has this look on his face of like something's going on if like they're out
Something
and
be
about.
up.
Yeah, but he doesn't know the specifics. You genuinely believe he
Yeah.
doesn't know the specifics. He's like, no, but it's probably nothing to be concerned about.
You don't seem very not concerned, but thank you for passing that information along.
And kind of gives you like a look like I don't appreciate being sassed or whatever, but kind of leads you towards where the
Being said, it's just like, hey, you seem to care. But anywho,
he doesn't talk to you for the rest of the way walking there.
Oh,
These are some
way to
insightful
go.
motherfuckers. And I'm not saying anything. But eventually you are led to you're kind of in the garden area.
I'm gonna like make myself look like more presentable. Like as I feel like we're getting closer, I'll use disguise self on myself just to make myself look more polished, a little nicer, more official, clean. Like
Say
Um,
self one more time.
huh?
Say self one more time.
Still.
Seal. It's like
I
Seal.
said disguise self on myself to make myself look.
I'm gonna look at myself and work on myself and disguise myself.
Yeah.
Heal myself. Anyway, you're led across the yard into the kind of like the gardens area, and you see it looks like there are 5 look like they're 16, 17-year-olds, mixed range of kids, all kind of wearing the colors of Una's villages, like those same like blues and grays and then like the hides and stuff like that, and they have some sea glass iconography. There is, it looks like 3 boys and 2 girls. One of them is wearing, there's one girl who looks probably like 16 or 17. She has blonde hair and those big brown eyes that like all of them do, and freckles, and is kind of like leaner, muscly build, very, very pretty looking. She looks like she has some sort of like swords kind of strapped onto her. There is a guy standing next to her, a little bit taller and more muscly, and he has a bow on his back similar to what Una has, but it looks more of like a different style than hers. Like maybe it's more of like a composite bow where it requires much more strength versus Una's very dexy. And then there's 2 that look a little bit more bookish, and maybe probably the older ones of the pair. And then there's one with like very tan skin, slightly muscly, and kind of has like a boyish look about him. And basically, they're kind of being led by, you recognize her as the transmutation wizard that Elaine called to look at the artifact. And she looks like, and over here we have more animal shrubs. You know, if you're bored here of looking at stuff, you can come look at animal shrubs. And you know, the fun thing they won't tell you about this was originally supposed to be a bathhouse, but what, Hans and Franz, Andrew?
what is animal shrubs?
Like
Shrubs are the
shrubs
shape
that
of
look like
animals.
Like topiary. Okay.
Yeah, topiary, yeah. That's how she describes them. And you
I was very confused. I was like, wait,
Shrubs make
what?
animals?
I mean, sometimes they come alive and eat you. I mean,
Sorry, Lizzie.
It's okay, it's okay. Animal
we
shrubs.
saw grass come alive. It's fine.
Basically, it looks like she doesn't really want to be giving the tour, and she's just doing her best. And then kind of, she's like, oh, it's you guys. Say hi, make this more interesting. I'm gonna go be right back.
Hello.
You go ahead and talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna go talk to somebody. And then like she kind of like walks like away, like kind of running towards like a nearby like guard person. to kind of talk real quick. And basically the cadets are like, and one of the blonde girl kind of was like, this day keeps getting worse and weirder. And then as they're turning around, like, you see the one, probably like the tallest guy, who's really got more like tan skin, more darker complexion, and big brown eyes, and kind of like leaner muscles. Turns around and has the biggest smile on his face as he looks at Una, and he's like, Una! Ah! And he like runs over and just gives you like a giant hug and like picks you up in his arms. And he's probably grown like a couple inches since you've seen him, Una, over the last 8 months.
Because he's pretty tall, right? Like he's like 6 foot.
Right? Yeah, he's probably like 5'11", maybe 5'8". He's taller than you though.
Yeah.
You saw him
I'm 5'3". It's not that hard to do.
Yeah. He's probably like, he's like 5'8", 5'9". So he picks you up, and he's grown a little bit taller since you had seen him last time, and gives you a big hug. And you notice as his friend, he's got a few more scars on him than when you saw him last time.
That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd hug him back and probably have a smile on my face. And it's good to see you, Oren. As he's hugging / lifting me up, because I can't really touch the ground, so my feet are probably dangling.
He's giving you a very, very tight hug, like I'm so glad that you're alive and like safe and everything hug, and like, oh my god, I've missed you hug. And he says, it is so good to see you. I'm so happy I got to come. You'll have to show me all around the city.
I'd love to. I'm actually surprised that, no offense, that you were selected for a knowledge mission.
Well, yeah, it's the same, but me and Caitlin and Perry are the only other ones who have physically seen and handled the artifact and uncovered it, so here I am.
Yeah, I must say it's a shock to see you two as well. And she'll kind of wave haphazardly at Caitlin and Perry.
Perry awkwardly waves and is like, hi, Una. And then Caitlin's like, hi, Blubs. Glad to see you're all right.
It's good to see you too, Caitlin. And do I recognize the other two?
Give me an insight check. Actually, no, you probably wouldn't have interacted with them before.
I will, once Oren puts me down, I will put my hand out and say, hi, I'm Una. As one of the reasons you guys were brought here.
They kind of both look at you and they're like, oh, you're the head ranger's daughter. Yes, we know that you managed to be the connection to here. I'm Elena, and this is Aslak. We're two of the older cadets that are going more into the knowledge and spiritual profession. It is lovely to meet you. That's what Elena says, and Aslak says, likewise, this is a very weird city. I hear that they have a lot of books here. I'm quite excited about that. Our tour guide is kind of sparse on details, and I didn't get to ask the Duchess more about what kind of categories they had, but yeah, Oren's like, yeah, that was kind of a weird thing. I'm not gonna lie. Transporting through air here suddenly was quite wild. And then he kind of like looks around and sees the rest of you standing there, and he's like, oh, hi. And then he leans down to you. Do they know about? Like, Mercer's like, do they know about?
Yeah, I'll pat his shoulder and be like, yes. But they're the only ones. And I will say to Elaine and Aslak, if you need anything, just let me know. I've been in the city for about 8 months now, and I can try to assist you to the best of my knowledge and see if I can just help in any way. Kind of ignoring Caitlin and Perry as much as possible. So, how is my relationship with Perry? I know what my relationship with Katie is, or Caitlin is.
Perry is kind of just, you remember him as a cadet. He definitely got paired with Caitlin because she is much more of an up-close front fighter and he is more of a ranged fighter. It's the same reason Orin and you kind of were chosen to be together is because he is up front and close. So
And I'm range. So I guess I wouldn't be as cold to Perry,
yeah.
but I would be a little bit cold to Katie.
Mhm.
Be like, same goes to you, Perry, and Katie and Oren. I'd love to show you around the city. It'd be great. Let me introduce you to my friends and companions for the last couple of months. We have Hans and Franz, and I will motion to the two brothers. And they are what?
What?
I just
did
said
it
Hans and
right.
Franz.
Yeah, she
I
said it
did
right. She
go
motioned
right.
to us. and
Don't
said, "You're
scold
Hans
me.
and Franz."
I didn't say Hans and Franz, not Hans and Franz. I
Megan
only
was-
said Hans and Franz. The first time
You did it
ever.
right.
Just
Yeah.
putting it out there.
Yeah, no, that was
I was super excited.
A plus.
No, but I'm not there
Oh yeah, you're not.
because you said both brothers.
Yep. Nope. So we
That's why I
have.
was like, there's one.
Wait, where are you?
He's
I'm-
forging
Still.
harpoons. I
Right.
forgot. So I'll just say this is Hans and Franz. His brother is currently back at the Merchants Guild, and this is my friend Nora and her brother Rowan. And I will motion accordingly, and I'll be like, this is Oren, Elaine, Aslak, Perry, and Katie.
It's actually Elena, but yeah, it's
No,
fine.
Elena.
Um,
Sorry.
They all kind of like wave. Orin is specifically looking at you, Anders, Hans, and Franz, like kind of a little bit like measuring wise, like trying to figure out who in the letter was the one who uncovered her secret accidentally.
I'll
but you
reach
don't know
in
that.
to shake his hand.
He shakes it back. Nice to
Oren,
meet you.
it's very nice to meet you. Megan said that you two were like best friends growing up.
Who?
What did I say?
Megan.
Yeah, you know Megan, this one over here.
Megan.
She goes by Una for you guys for some reason. I don't know why. That you and Una were friends growing up. You guys were very good friends. So it's very nice to meet you. And I'll go around and shake hands with everybody. Even I'm assuming it wasn't very hard to gather that she was being deliberately called to Caitlin, but he'll still introduce himself to her cordially.
Yeah, Caitlin's nice to you. She's like, it's nice to meet you. So I'm assuming that you all know about us, probably.
We probably all just kind
Yeah.
of nod.
Yeah,
Yes, Una told us.
We know.
I figured as much. It's a pleasure to meet you all, and you all must be very skilled adventurers to have made it this far and stopped a attempted break-in of the school.
I mean, we do our best. That's all we can do, you know.
Oh, well, you know, Una's always been really good at finding talented people to kind of be there for her.
Oh, the
Well, yeah,
shade.
She's very talented, so it's easy for her to find talented people, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's so true. She really is. Do you know what happened to do you think the Duchess is going to come back? Or
Yes, your guide said she would be back in a moment. I'm sure her Grace will be back as soon as she can. It looks like there's some other business happening around town, but your guide should be back soon. Is there places here you have yet to see by chance in the school?
basically, Oren's like, we came in into one of the teleportation rooms is what she called it, and we've just kind of had a tour until she got called away by he kind of like motions like that guy had like a bird on his chest or something. I don't know like what kind of bird it was.
Yeah, we did see them going towards the northern part of the city. I'm sure it was something more official.
I mean, yeah, she's a busy lady. This is her, you know, she's leading this nation, so we're not gonna be able to really show you around the academy because we don't know it that well. But we can show you around the town. We've got a few good restaurants that we go to eat at. And I'll like lean in closely, like, and we know there might be some fights that happen, kind of on the down low.
Like who did you whisper that to? All of them or just
Yeah, just kind of like lean into the group.
Oren looks really interested, actually. He's like, really?
Una just looks at him like, what the hell? What? Like,
what
okay, that's new.
Like, what kind of fights? Like, fisticuffs? Or...
Yeah. I mean, that's when we went, that's what it was. But there might be other, versions that they do.
And Perry's like, ugh, that's not really up my alley, but I wouldn't mind doing some fights while we're here. I mean, I'm certainly not going to be reading constantly. And Caitlin's like, you know that we need to stay and also look for things, since us three were the only people that actually ran into that one temple. And they're like, all right.
Perry, perhaps you and I can have a shoot-off then here around the academy, just to test our skills, since you and I both aren't really known for fisticuffs.
He kind of like looks you up and down. He's like, I've always wondered actually if you inherited your older brother's skill with a bow, like from your mother. So I'd be interested in seeing that. Because your brother's also an archer too.
Yeah.
So.
My dad's up close. And then the other three of us are ranged.
After an introduction, the wizard kind of like comes back. She's like, all right, are you guys ready for more of your tour? I can show you where you're sleeping, and we could probably get started on the library too if you want.
I'll just give Oren a hug again and be like, just send message to the Merchants Guild and I will try to see you before we leave. And then I'll look towards the wizard. Do you have a way of communicating with Lady Elaine by chance?
Not directly. But if it's something related to all of this, I can probably pass on a message when she gets back.
Yes, if you just want to have her reach out to us, any of us, that would be great. It's a matter of slight importance. But it looks like she might have some more important matters going on currently here, at least by the knight's presence.
Yeah, that's one way maybe of putting it. I don't really know what they want. I'm sure it's some bureaucrat got his head stuck in a toilet or something. I don't know. Hey! You actually like my jokes. I like you. Come back around more often. But anyway, Aaron gives you like a hug, and
this fucking guy knows.
Aaron, when he hugs you, you can tell he's kind of like sadly like releasing you a little bit. Like, I haven't seen you so long, and I'm like, okay, I'm trying not to be like too affectionate, but I've missed you. But like, he lets go. And it's like, we'll have to come see the guild and stuff sometime, and just a tour around the city. And who knows, maybe we'll be free around dinner and we can catch up.
Yeah, just let me know, and I have other friend to show you later, but that'll be a different story. We kind of need to be around water for me to do that right now. So,
does he know about your familiar?
I haven't written.
I don't think you have. Okay, he's like, okay. Also, like, are you wearing your pearls or anything? The gift from you? He got you?
The pearls are in my hair.
Okay. So you
yeah,
can see he clearly noticed them and has like a slight like, yes, I did a good job picking that out. And is happy to see you, and it's just like very like bubbly and stuff like that.
So I do have a question before you guys leave. Are you guys going to be staying here on the campus?
And the wizard chips in. Yep, they have rooms in the dormitories and stuff. So if you guys, I'm assuming you'll want to come visit them sometime, and they'll mostly be engaged with studies and whatnot. But you're probably gonna be around. So
Okay. It was nice meeting you all.
They all kind of like, part ways and are like, yeah, it's nice meeting you too. Caitlin's like, bye, Una. By the way, you gotta tell me like what you found here to fix your skin. It looks so good.
Yeah. Yep. And be like, it was nice to meet you. Good to see you, Perry. And Oren will have to catch up. And just
We will. And he kind of gives Caitlin like a look like, oh.
She's a nice lady.
Did you have like a bad infection or something?
No. My face is my face. Hasn't changed. At all.
That was a very weird thing for her to say then.
Not since the Acme went away, anyway.
I'm just guessing it's her personality. You two don't seem quite friendly.
Yeah.
She seemed like a bit of a...
She's an aboleth.
You know what? That's very accurate because she was very nice to me, but not very nice to you. So I like
Is
that.
our new term for things now?
I'll call her Abby from now on.
Okay, so side note.
Well, yeah, we'll say that it's probably
So
whatever.
I take it that we won't be friends with her, but the other ones all seem very nice.
Yeah, I am intrigued to learn more about Elena and Aslak, and Perry's always been a good shot. So,
your friend Owen seemed like a very nice guy.
Yeah, he's wonderful. Like I said, we grew up together, and he definitely has a few more cuts on him than I remember, which...
He looks very rugged and handsome. I bet you he's been through a lot of fights, and obviously come out on top because he's still here.
Yeah. Well, so remember that story that I told you about randomly stabbing the guy and then healing him with the berry? He helped me with that.
But, yeah, no, I do remember that. Nice. So you said he's similar to, he's more of a frontline fighter?
Yeah, so when we get sent out, they try to pair the best team. So usually it's a couple of up front and a couple of ranged. And he is more of a fighter like you and Rowan and your brother.
Did he have a weapon on him?
No, he didn't actually look like he had a weapon.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if they would not be allowed.
I take that back. He probably has like a, I think Hans and Franz would know what it is, but as a above table, he had a boomerang.
It's Sokka.
And a
Sokka.
and probably a staff.
I am Sokka, the sarcastic meat guy. And I will give that up.
From the water tribe.
Water tribe.
Yeah.
From the water tribe, we have a Sokka because he has a boomerang and he's sarcastic. I love it.
I like this guy already. Yeah, he seems very capable. So, why did you leave them? I'm just trying to remember in my head as we're walking out.
We came across two different leads. I found out where Lou possibly is being here, which turned out to pan out, and he had a different lead about a different part or group that was black is something.
Breakspear.
There you go.
Oh yeah. And that's what they found wait, do we know that they found their own
She
artifact?
just said it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They got word. Caitlin and Harry's group informed Oren, and so Oren went to go help them because he was by himself in the Breakspear. I almost said that.
Okay.
So Oren went to help them to retrieve it, just to make sure that it could get done safely because it was a dangerous expedition, so I'm told. And
it was important.
Yes, so he went there, and then he went back to the village upon my suggestion as well as his own common sense. And I guess they decided that since they came in contact with that artifact, that this artifact would be a good one for them. So I'd be intrigued to see what they learned.
Yeah. Yeah, I look forward to hanging out with them in the future.
Yeah, me too. Most of them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, most of them. One of them can just stay here.
I mean, it sounded like she wanted to, so I mean that makes sense that she should just stay here, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Then I mean, it's not bad that she said she wanted to stay here.
Yeah, we're not leaving
so-
her out if she doesn't want to come anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's not like we
Yeah.
have to send her an invitation because she said she wanted to stay here and study. So
Exactly. Yeah. Anywho.
You guys go back to the guild,
So-
I'm assuming.
Well,
I don't-
no, we want to.
yeah, we have to go. Well, we should
Oh,
go
yeah.
see the Griffin dude and figure out what the fuck is going on with all these knights.
I'm gonna, when we're somewhere where it's like not a lot of people around us, I'm gonna take out my sending stone, and I think I'll contact Rhiannon maybe after we talk to Griffin dude.
Sounds like a plan.
Guys,
Tonight?
I had a thought. Lizzie, this isn't to you because this is kind of like metagamey. Who knows?
The Aboleth is controlling people, and he's taking
This has
over
nothing
the
to do.
city.
This has nothing to do with the Aboleth.
Oh.
Well, it might. I don't know. But yeah. What if my vision was happening real time and killed some noble? And that's why Lady Lane's getting carried away somewhere
Mhm.
quickly with guards.
Yeah.
But I also realized I have the Hat of Disguise, and I know what the guy looks like that was killed.
Mm-hmm.
So if we find
So we
someone
can-
trustworthy, I could be like, "Do you know?"
So
who
if we
this
get in to
person
see
is?"
Lady Elaine or Rhiannon or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Probably ask Rhiannon versus Lady Elaine. Just
Yeah.
saying. Don't need
Wouldn't hurt to
alien
ask.
experimentation. Be like, hey,
There's that.
I had a vision of this guy getting killed. Boom, here's this guy. They're gonna take him in custody and
So-
torture
so-
him.
So how should I contact Rhiannon now to see if she has time to meet with us while we're here?
I mean, if we're at the school, she's not busy. And then
Yeah.
we can go to the Griffin because he's north instead of backtracking.
Hey Rhiannon, we're at the school. Wait, hold on a second.
We're about to go motion.
Hold on.
Okay,
my
get
words.
it out.
Hold on. Okay,
Okay.
Rhiannon, we're at the academy. Can we come by and see you? It's important. Also, there's an aboleth in the sewers. Be careful.
You got 5 left.
I hope your day is good. I hope your day is.
Hope days what?
Should have used
I hope your dick is
contractions, brother.
Full.
How would I have contracted that? I hope your day is well. I already used the contraction.
I hope your day's well. Days. Day apostrophe S. Contraction.
Or drop the I. Hope your day
Yeah.
is well.
Hope your
Okay.
day is well. Good. Something.
Okay. You keep walking, and you get to the
I don't get a reply.
No, not yet.
How long do they
Or
have
are
to
we just
reply?
chilling? We're waiting for her to reply. So
The stone, after you send the message, her stone,
Lights up.
like, pulses
Yeah.
that she's got a message. So she has to pick it up and be like,
You
Respond.
have
What's my
one
message?
new
Mhm.
message.
yeah, I mean, we can just chill around the animal shrub for a little
Sure.
bit.
it's like
One,
it's like if you have an Echo, like a Amazon Echo or a Dot or whatever.
notification.
It has the color, and you're like, Alexa, what are my notifications? And it's like, you've received a message from Hans and Franz.
I love it. We just compared sending stones to an Alexa device.
Yep, basically. Are you standing around waiting?
Yeah, I mean-
like an hour back.
For like 5 or 10 minutes,
Yeah.
maybe.
5 or 10 minutes pass, you don't get a message back.
I was thinking like a half hour to an hour.
Just
Okay.
sitting around the topiaries.
I mean, if we're
Yeah.
allowed to just sit here without anybody
I
showing
mean-
us out.
There's no guards around. They kind of just fucked up. But
You gotta find a no soliciting sign.
I think after probably like a half an
Or not,
a ha-
not no soliciting. What's the
No
loitering?
yeah.
No loitering.
So you're just chilling at the academy and
we're standing by the animal shrubs.
all right, I think eventually kind of one of the elven guards will come by and is like not the elven guard, like one of the guards who works at the schools and is like, can I help you? Do you have an appointment you're supposed to be at?
Now we're waiting for the exchange students to come back after the tour.
Okay. All right. That's fine. And he'll kind of like retreat back or whatever, and stuff like that. But he's just like, who the fuck are these people just sitting out on the lawn?
We're looking at the horse.
As soon as
lion.
Megan was like half an hour to an hour, I was like, okay, what's a good reason for us to just be standing here?
Yeah.
I know.
Smart. Yep.
Yeah, no, we're just looking at the animal shrubs.
Okay.
The
An hour
topiary.
goes by.
Don't feed them.
An hour goes by. Still no message back. Una and Nora, give me intelligence checks.
It's not my night for rolling. That's a 4.
You just said straight intelligence.
Yeah.
That's a nat 20 plus 2, so 22.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, Nora, you're thinking about it, and you remember that you're like, I know it's close to lunch now, but I remember at tea yesterday, Rhiannon did say she had some sort of brunch date this morning with like one of the ladies or something. So she's
Lady
probably
Farquaad?
busy. Yeah. Lady who?
Farquaad.
Farquaad.
Yes.
I just remembered. I think that Rihanna is actually busy today. She said that she was going to be going to brunch with someone.
For at least part of
Oh.
the day.
I'm not sure when she's going to be back, but
You couldn't have brunch for part of the day? Oh, man, we're missing out. I need to tell my brother this.
it's a whole
This could
event,
change everything.
kind of like tea.
Well, it is kind of
But
late
the-
in the day for brunch, but you're like, well, maybe she's still coming back. But you do remember she said she had like a tea date in the morning.
That just
Right.
means we can have pancakes and omelets any part
All
of the day.
day.
Yep,
day.
all
All-
day.
All you can
Steak omelets, peppers, sausage.
Sliced
All of it.
roast beef.
Mhm. So you guys know that that could be why she hasn't responded yet. So with that in mind, if you want to continue to wait, I just am checking.
What time is it now?
Probably like
Ish.
11:30, noonish. It's like almost lunchtime.
Wow, let's go get some lunch, if nothing else, and drop off this goop.
Okay.
Work for me. Yeah, go find a place to eat lunch.
All right.
That- has
Let's
many
go get
better
our
options.
reward first, so we
Okay.
can figure out how good of a lunch we get.
Yeah,
All
that's true. I realized I can only turn Spriel back one more time. I need to buy stuff. More money.
All right. Just to make it quick, you go through. Specifically, Griffin doesn't meet with you this time, but he said there would be somebody who is more of like a mage expert, like
Mhm.
that would be kind of like asked to review everything. And they take a bit of time getting details, verifying what goop and stuff you have left, looking some stuff up in books and stuff, and then looking kind of like being like, I'm going to go clear this with him really quickly. And I will be back. And they kind of go and just check with him and make sure that the amount of money is fair.
I'm going to ask this gentleman or madam or whatever they prefer to go by, if there's any way that we could speak to the guy we spoke to last time, because we have a teeny bit of urgent information that he should know.
I will.
And by teeny, I mean a very large, urgent piece of information that if he doesn't know, could endanger people.
I will check and see. Is it
I mean, not him. Whoever's currently
Well,
the
is
highest.
it in
that we
relation? Is it in relation to more monsters in the aqueducts? Is it relation
Yes.
to? All right. Well, then I'll see if he actually has time. I just was gonna have him go sign off on this. Hold on a minute, and they go off and come back and say, all right, yes, he will see you briefly.
Okay. Go in. Like, hi, nice to see you again. Since I know you should have time, I'll make this quick. We haven't informed Lady Lane yet. We're hoping to try to get in to see her later today because it's a very urgent matter. But there may be an obelisk in the sewers, so you probably shouldn't go down there for now, or in the aqueducts.
He's like, he kind of like looks to the assistant who is like the mage person who's like, I don't know what is an aboleth, and the person's like,
just fucking like falls over.
They probably have a decent arc. Yeah. That is definitely a very high dangerous item. I don't think we should reopen that part yet. I would press urgency to her grace on this. And he says, I will expedite a request then for that. It was above your capabilities to deal with, I'm assuming.
Well, no.
No.
We just really wanted to inform her. Una had the idea of letting her know that this thing's down there because it's probably very dangerous. I mean, I plan on going back down again, but...
Well, I would be careful because if it is very... the assistant's like, I would definitely wait for help and such. Maybe she wants to quarantine off the area or more, but I do appreciate the Griffin guy. I don't remember his name. I think it was this specific Griffin guy. He's like, thank you for letting me know this and not just leaving that down there. I will personally expedite this to her grace and make sure that it gets addressed, since if it is as dangerous as it is, we need to take care of that. However, at least for the payment for what you did, he kind of looks it over and he says, I believe that is within the frame of what she permitted. So, take this to the treasury down the road, and they will give you the gold or platinum or however you want for this. And he hands you a document with his seal on it and approved, and it's for 7,000 gold.
Holy shit.
How much? Do we know how much we were supposed to get per head?
No.
They didn't know
No.
what was down there
Okay.
specifically, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it wasn't per head, it was per monster genius. So, like, the grass was lower, the zombies were probably a little higher than the grass mound.
Some high level shit, so I was like, I might as well reward you.
All right,
Dude,
I'll
I
shake his hand
need
if
it.
he's amenable, and then turn around and...
I think he's a little confused at first, but then he's like, oh, okay. Like, he's just not used to
and
commoners
if-
shaking his hand.
Yeah, if Lady Lane
Mhm.
would like to speak to us, I suppose we'll be back at the guild.
Well, I will pass that on to her, and I will definitely expedite that. And he starts like getting like stuff together, like being like, tell me, so and so, the assistant, what is an aboleth? And then they start kind of talking about it, and he's like writing a letter of urgency or whatever to expedite it and stuff like that. But yeah, you can go. I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. You go get your 7,000 from like the treasury thing with his seal and stuff. You do notice more of the cloak guards and stuff walking around. And
Yeah, I kind of
City
want
guard.
to ask the front desk person as we're leaving if she knows why there's more night presence in the city.
There normally are this many. They're just not normally all on patrol. Give me a persuasion check.
I'm nice and friendly and bubbly. She
Yeah.
loves me. Natural 20! Yes! Ha! I had to talk myself up for that's persuasion is a 20.
Okay. You kind of charm her a bit and like are chatting. She's like, I don't know specifically because I haven't really been out, but I've heard whispers that something happened in the Noble District today. I don't know, like somebody's house got broken into, something happened. I don't know.
I start to turn to look at Rowan, and then I stop myself and go, All right, well,
Well,
Did
thanks
you
for
tell-
letting me know?
Oh yeah, just I'm sure it's nothing. You know, sometimes they get spooks and then they gotta call out all the guards. It'll probably die down in like a day or
I gotta
two.
call the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I mean there was all the noble break-ins a while ago, so it's probably nothing.
Well, be safe and thanks for this, and I'm sure we'll see you again in a couple of days.
So long, and thanks for
Yep.
all the fish.
Yep. So, are you gonna go retrieve your brother for lunch?
No.
I think we might as well go back to the guild hall.
Okay.
Oh, that's fair.
But I
Um,
will suggest once we're all together, like we should go out and have like a big fancy meal tonight or tomorrow.
A fancy
A
feast.
fancy feast.
Well, if we wouldn't mind-
Oh my god, fancy first.
if we wouldn't mind waiting for the fellow cadets, that would be a nice way to treat them. If you guys are okay with waiting to do that tomorrow.
That sounds like a nice time.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Do we want to put 1,000 gold in the guild bank, and then everyone else would get 1,200? Is that okay with everyone? Or do we want to put more gold in the guild bank?
No, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so everyone will get 1,200 gold, or
Cool.
120 platinum, however you want to say it, and then I'll put 100 platinum in the guild bank. And Una's gonna go buy some herbs.
Aaron, do you give it to Nora or okay?
Yes, ma'am.
We better.
Man, Sam, Nora is sitting wealthy.
I know.
Yeah. I was actually just gonna say that we should probably let their parents know that we've got
We can buy the whole
we've
village.
got a good amount of money to send up home.
Ah, gee whiz, mister.
Dude, I'm so jealous.
Um,
I keep buying spells, and that's my downfall.
So Lizzie,
So we'll say you guys can go shopping. You can go have your lunch with your brother or whatever.
And then wait at the guild for a message.
Yes.
Message.
Basically, it's probably. We'll say the day passes with your activities.
How many harpoons do I make?
You
For
can
how
make one every 2 hours. How many is it?
Yeah,
We
so
started at
you
10.
started
What?
at like 10.
I started at 10.
Yeah. It would have been, he started at 10
For
if we waited an
12,
hour. And it was
2, 4, 6, 8,
As long as
10,
no, I can't.
12.
I'll make 4.
They're all Clarence. It's Clarence Junior, Senior, Junior,
No,
Junior.
it's Clarence. Clarence 1, Clarence 2.
and
Well, this is Clarence Jr. Then we have Clarence the 3rd, Clarence the 4th, and Clarence the 5th.
So you
I-
got quite a few clearances.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, did you have a question, Andrew?
Nope.
And I'm
Okay.
gonna have them all in a bundle that you can have on your shoulder.
Okay. We're ready. What's the plan?
We're waiting to hear from, somebody higher up than we are.
Oh,
The person that we tried to contact yesterday and today.
okay. Okay. Do you want a couple of these Clarences?
I mean, yeah, I was wondering if you were going to ask. I thought that was your thing. I didn't want to.
No,
know.
I know you like to throw the javelins, so I figured this might be right up your alley.
Yeah.
So I'll give you 2 Clarences.
How the
Which
fuck
are
do
you
I-
have-
giving him Clarence the 3rd and the 5th?
No. You can have Clarence,
Mhm.
Clarence Jr. and
Huh.
Clarence the 3rd.
Probably late in the evening. It's probably close to bedtime. Hans and Franz, Andrew, your sending stone finally lights up.
He just has it there on his chest, just, oh, finally.
Hello?
I don't.
Boop.
I don't know how to work this thing.
Uh,
Is it like a seashell? Praat met je.
I know how to send messages. I just don't know how to receive
Nora
them.
and Rowan, you see him fiddling with his sending stone.
Is it like a cryptic? I have to turn it.
Nora
No, just
Looks over. Do you need help?
yeah, I know how to send, but they never showed me how to receive.
Nora would go ahead and like show him based off of her knowledge from their own sending stones how she thinks it works.
Just press the button on the right.
No, you have to swipe it now.
You gotta swipe.
You hear a voice, and it sounds very distressed, and it says, Hans and Franz, meet me where we kissed at 2 a.m. Something bad has happened. Elaine's been arrested for a murder. I don't know what to do.
Well, that's a distress call if I've ever heard one. What could this mean? Find out next time on The Guardians of Fehal.